is Vlogmas Q&A time. Grab a drink, grab a snack, or get ready with me. I'm gonna do my makeup routine and answer your questions. I submitted a question box on my Instagram and my community tab, so follow me on Instagram if you want to participate in these, or be on the lookout for my community tab posts. So subscribe regardless. But let's get started. I just got out of the shower. I washed my hair and everything, so it's like half dry, half wet, so it's like a little poofy, but that's okay. I am not a makeup guru. However, I do get questions sometimes on what products I use. It's a mix between drugstore products and some that are a little more expensive. I just moisturize, of course. The prep is everything, and I am gonna go in with primer. I do always use a primer. This one's just e.l.f. e.l.f. has really good primers, and so do other drugstore brands. You can really find a good primer for fairly cheap. This one is e.l.f. though. The Power Grip Primer. I'm gonna let that sit for a second. The first question, I just screenshot all of these, so it's in no particular order, but it's what do you do at home when you're not filming? I feel like I do just things also that I do when I'm filming, you know? Like I do stuff with the dog. We go to places around Austin. I feel like I'm constantly cleaning my apartment. I'm like trying different meals, hanging out with friends. Actually, I don't really show you that much. I feel like that's probably something that you don't ever see that I don't really film, but I do have friends here and I just don't really film them. So we've gone to a few events together. Sometimes we just hang out. I'm hosting a party with everyone at my apartment on Friday. So I feel like that's mostly what you don't see. Otherwise, I just do normal stuff that I already do on camera. I like the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. I am a little pale, so sometimes if I'm too pale, I won't use it, but otherwise, I do like to mix it in with my foundation. And my favorite foundation is just by L'Oreal. It's the True Match. They've had this like forever, and I will just put a good amount because I do feel like my beauty blender kind of eats up a lot of it. One thing that you regret doing during your getting into shape era, well, when I initially lost weight, I only walked. Like I mainly did the 12-3-30 and more walking, and I mean, if I could go back, which I don't necessarily regret this because I do feel like you have to try things to learn and, you know, everyone starts somewhere. But if I could go back, I mean, I would lift weights right away because it's so important to build muscle. It's so much more sustainable and I'd be, you know, way stronger than I am now. I've only been really consistently lifting weights for like a year. And of course, I still don't know a ton. But if I could go back and start lifting when I was initially losing weight, I would be in a totally different place. So that is something I would recommend, is to lift right away or do some sort of strength training. So that's what I mean by lift, like strength train right away. Don't just do cardio. Cardio is great. Like you do need to be in a calorie deficit, and cardio helps you burn calories to get there, to like lose weight, and that is really gonna help you like burn the fat, but there's just so much good you get from strength training, so I would say that. Lately I've been doing concealer after blush and bronzer sticks because if I go too crazy in the blush, then it kind of like evens it out. So I'm gonna do contour stick next. This one is by Too Faced. It is actually so good. It's my favorite one I've ever tried. It's called the Melting Bronzer and Sculpting Stick. A little goes a long way. I totally overdo this a lot, but we'll fix it if we do. Under the chin helps give you more of a defined jawline, and the nose, of course. Have you ever tried a First Form protein baked recipe? And can you do a video of trying them? I cooked with protein powder, like by First Form before, but I haven't done many of their recipes. They send out like a blog if you're on their email list with different recipes and stuff. So if they come up with a new flavor, they'll usually post recipes using the new flavor and stuff. And I've tried a few, but I feel like I don't really know many off the top of my head. I've cooked with the pumpkin a good amount. If you had to pick one of your beauty gadgets to keep and get rid of the others, what would you keep? Okay, that's so hard. Because it's like, okay, does that include red light? Does that include the high frequency wand? Like, what does that all include? I do feel like the high frequency wand has been helping my hair a lot. Oh gosh, I love the red light. I have a facial steamer I don't use too often. I like ice roll and dry brush. Like, do those also count as gadgets, or is gadgets mostly electronic? I would say the high frequency wand is actually pretty cool and pretty worth it. How do you recognize and cope with stress realistically? I would say I'm not the person to ask this. I feel like, okay, one of my flaws is I feel like I get stressed very easily and like overstimulated very easily. And how do I cope with it? I feel like when I feel overwhelmed, something I've been doing lately, which is really awesome, is like at night, if I have so much going through my head and so much to do. I have been journaling and I actually do really like that. I don't know if that sounds really cheesy, but I do think that helps a lot. Going to the gym, honestly, or just walking. Like if I have already gone to the gym for the day, sometimes I'll literally take my phone, just go walk on the treadmill and watch something and try to just zone out. Walking is so good for your mental health. I would recommend more steps, like just walking in general. I also like my sauna blanket. Something about sweating it out feels good mentally as well. Those are my 3 tips. For blush, I have this NYX Wonder Stick. I really love it. I do like their bronzer stick too. I just don't really like the shade I have, and I like this one better, but they have a blush stick that's really nice, and I always end up going way too much with this, so we can fix it with concealer if that's the case. Absolute favorite thing about Christmas, honestly, it's just gotta be seeing everyone. I feel like now too that I moved away, I'm so excited to see my nieces and nephews because I haven't seen them since the summer and I miss them and they're growing up. I am the youngest of 3 and my boyfriend's the youngest of 5. So we have 10 nieces and nephews between the 2 of us and they're fun to see. We used to see them a lot more when we lived in Wisconsin, obviously. And so it is like kind of sad being away. I don't regret moving at all, but that is just like one of the cons, right? And so I'm just so excited to see everyone. There are so many things I love though, like decorating. I love the cozy season. I love Christmas cookies. Like there's just so much, but I'm so excited to see the little Rugrats. I feel like my blush isn't too bad actually, but we'll do concealer next. My concealer, it's not like brightening. It's just my skin tone, or at least I try to make it be, because it's more for coverage, because you know, I got that acne sometimes, so I need it. The next one says, does your partner not want to be filmed? I talked about this recently and I don't think he cares. I mean, he doesn't necessarily like want to go out of his way to be in videos, but I like that my channel is for me. You know, we do so much together. We live together, we work from home, both all day, every day. Like we grocery shop together. Like we truly do so much together. So it is just nice to kind of have this for me. Like I would never want to be like a couples channel or like down the road like a family channel. Like that's not my plan. I like that this is for me and that we do have that separation. He's super supportive of it, like 100%. And I mean, he can make more appearances and I can like let you in a little bit more on that. But I also like, just because I put myself online, I don't want to subject him to being put online. You know, like some people just simply don't want to be online, which is why I'm also so hesitant to take my camera out around friends and things like that, because just not everyone wants to be online. And just because I choose to put myself online, like I don't want for some reason like him to get a hate comment or something, I would feel terrible. So it's like, I don't know, I just like to have that separation and I can include him a little bit more, but he's not gonna ever be like a main part. And I think we're both okay with that. I actually feel like my skin texture is so weird today and I'm not liking how my makeup is laying, but I don't think you can tell on camera. I spray down all the time. This is just an e.l.f. setting spray. I don't know how much setting sprays actually work, but also I change the order I do my makeup like all the time. So I don't have any tips on when to put what. I mean, obviously cream and liquid products before powders, but that's all I got. I'm actually gonna go ahead and do a little highlight because then I'll put powder over it and that's not too intense because I like a little. I do a dot at the nose and then the bridge. Sometimes I'll do here. Just depends how I'm feeling. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. I also really like the Merit Beauty highlight. That's the other one that I'll use. And I know some people have moved past highlighter, but honestly, I love it, so I'm gonna wear it. Are you ever coming to the UK? I would love to. I don't have any plans to currently, but I would love to. My boyfriend's brother actually used to live in London, but he doesn't anymore. Will your Ultra Human ring promo code ever come back? Okay, so for Black Friday, it was increased to 20% off. I still have it, it's just 10% off. So it was 20, now it's 10, but I still have it. It's Morgan 10 for 10% off. They ship worldwide. I wear it. I got rid of my Aura ring actually, and now I just use the Ultra Human ring. I love that there's no monthly fee and all colors are the same price. Like for Aura, if you wanted gold, you had to pay significantly more compared to if you wanted big silver or I don't know, black or something. But for Ultra Human, gold is the same price and I really like it. It's also thinner than my Aura ring, but I had the 3rd generation and now the 4th is out. So obviously I don't know anything about the 4th. I'm gonna do some setting powder next. I have the 1 size. I literally got the travel version because it takes me so long to go through setting powder. So I'm like, well, why don't I just get the mini one and pay significantly less? But I'll just do this like essentially all over, not really over the like blush and contour parts, but all over the concealer. And also, I always make sure to put setting powder on my eyelids because I find that if I put like concealer and foundation on my eyelids and then go right in with eyeshadow, it gets like clumpy and weird. So I do setting powder as like the base layer, and then I go in with the eyeshadow. What YouTubers do you like to watch? I love Lauren Giraldo. I've been watching Remy Cruz's Vlogmas. I always was a listener to Pretty Basic, but I actually was never subscribed to Remy or Alicia, so I've been watching her Vlogmas, which is super fun. Also, like friends of mine, Keisha Petway and JC Hannah are both doing Vlogmas, so I'll link their channels too. Go watch their Vlogmas. Jordan Bouth, we're friends. Trinae, can't forget Trinae. I talk to her pretty often actually. She's the one who got me into the Alive app. I will link her channel as well. Also love Ryan Trahan. Like so random and different, but he's silly and goofy and fun to watch. I'm sure there's more. Is YouTube your full-time job? Yes, it is. I actually posted a long in-depth video about like my YouTube journey and kind of my life. So if you want the whole story, that is on my channel. I always wipe off my eyebrows before I put any product in them because so much foundation gets in it and I don't need like more product in my brows, you know? I really need to get them done. They're just like kind of crazy. And then I love this. It's literally so old. All of this stuff is rubbed off of it. It used to have like branding and stuff, but this is the Benefit, I think Gimme Brow. I will link the right one. I'll link all these products, but I'm pretty sure it's the Gimme Brow. I love it. It's not like a harsh gel or anything, but this is all I do to my brows. I don't use like a pencil or anything. I just like to comb this gel through, and I feel like it's a pretty good match too. I have fairly dark eyebrows. Non-wellness goals for 2025. So for YouTube, I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers. But for life in general, I really just want to be more confident. I want to make more friends. And I've been more social the past like 2 or 3 months compared to the rest of this year, which I'm really happy about. But I just want to like keep developing myself and my confidence and who I am as a person. And just like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of lost that this year because obviously with a big move and stuff, a lot changes and whatnot, and I just want to be more confident as a person. Of course, sticking to my goals and stuff. I think I want to get back into crocheting. I used to do it a lot and I haven't really lately, but I feel like I want to do it again. And I think just like do more hobbies. I feel like I need a little self-discovery work. So that type of stuff. For eyeshadow, I love these little Tartelette palettes. There's like 3 or 4 different ones and they're just like mini, but they're so good. This one is Tartelette in Bloom Amazonian Clay Palette. My favorite shade ever is called Jet Setter. I think it is just so flattering with my eyes and like, I don't know, my skin tone and stuff. I love the color. This shade I've like hit pan on, whereas like the rest of them I haven't. So once I run out, I'm gonna have to buy a whole new palette because I don't think I can just buy this individual color. How do you handle staying on track with your goals during PMS / your period? So I will skip the gym if I need, like if it's really bad, I will skip. Otherwise, honestly, for me, I feel like if I drink a lot of water, I take ibuprofen, I let myself sleep, and honestly sometimes stretch, I feel like that really helps my body feel okay, and then I feel well enough to go to the gym. And then the gym, I think also helps the symptoms. So those are my best tips. I try to go to the gym though on my period. I mean, if I really need to skip, I will skip for sure. But the gym totally helps. And I do think if I'm like eating well in general and drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, like my period just is easier. So then it does allow me to get to the gym. And then I love to use this like darker shade and a thin, more precise brush, and I'll do essentially eyeliner. Not too thick, and I also don't even bring it all the way into my inner corner, but I think it adds such a nice touch. I try to like wing it out, but I've never been really good at it. So I'll just do a little and then like smear it. What are key things you take into consideration as it relates to your diet? Honestly, I feel like I go in such phases with my diet. Sometimes I'm paying way more attention than others. I haven't tracked food in a while. Tracking is okay for me. Like it doesn't drive me crazy, which it definitely would have used to in the past. So it really just depends on your relationship, but I definitely take into consideration my protein intake, right? And just like what's gonna make me feel good at the end of the day. I've been reading a little bit of labels lately and it is kind of scary, all the random crap that's in our food. But also at the same time, I try not to let it drive me crazy because it's hard to escape. Like, I don't know. Protein intake is a big one, and I mean, I could always make improvements, right? Right now, I haven't been focused on my diet very much. Not in a bad way. It's just, I don't know, I'm busy. It's the holidays. Like, I think I'm eating generally healthy, but I feel like that's all I have to say on that. What are your 2025 fitness goals? Okay, I may or may not attempt 75 hard again. And when I say attempt, I say attempt. If I fail, I fail. Who cares? So let me know your thoughts on that. But I really want to lean out more. Like, I feel like I've been good about learning the gym, getting consistent in the gym, but this next year I'll have like a year of more experience under my belt, and although it may not look like I've made a ton of progress, I feel like I've made a ton of progress, and so I kind of want to lean out so that I can show it, right? Like, I do think I've increased my muscle percentage or whatever, so now I just have to decrease the layer of fat and shine. But I just want to keep developing my relationship with the gym, you know, like I want to learn more advanced stuff, make sure I'm always having good technique, like I just want to get better. I don't have any specific numbers in terms of like body fat percentage, which I have a body analyzer, like smart scale that tells me it, so like I know what it is, but it's not like I'm like, oh, I have to get down to this percentage, because I don't even really know what percentage is like good for me at my size, age, whatever. So tell us about your personal life, where you grew up, education, boyfriend, future plans. Again, I actually did like a whole long like life story video, so I'll link that in the description box, but I am from Wisconsin. I grew up in the Milwaukee area. I previously lived in the Madison area. I graduated from University of Wisconsin-Madison, so I have a bachelor's degree. I live with my boyfriend. Future plans? We'll see where the world takes us. And I think I got more questions about that, so keep watching. I have this e.l.f. brow lift, which is just like a clear gel. So honestly, I don't know what order you're technically supposed to do brow stuff in, but I do that gel for color, and then I'll do this clear gel to make them stay. So I'll always brush them up and like let it set for a minute before I make it not look like I was literally electrocuted. Can challenges where you change your diet / movement be hard on your mental health? This is a great question. I would honestly say yes. I've been trying a few different like food challenges, and they, depending on the challenge, I don't like them. Like when I tried carnivore, it was so hard mentally, and that's why I don't think I'd ever stick with it. I mean, to be honest, I don't think I'd ever stick with any one type of diet because it's just not my vibe. It's just not, like, it is hard for me mentally, and that's why I won't do it. Which is fine, like they're fun to try and see what I can take away from them. Oh, also don't forget to wipe off your lips after you do foundation and stuff, because stuff can get really stuck on there. How much protein do you eat per day? Like I said, I haven't been tracking lately. I try to get for sure over 100 grams, maybe closer to like 130. I am trying, however, to only have 1 scoop of protein per day, because more than that is just a lot. And protein powder is amazing, like I use it, but I also think too much isn't good for my skin, so I'm trying not to do too much. Would you try a week of plant-based or vegan diet? Okay, I've been thinking about this, but I think it'd be really hard for me. I mean, I, to be honest, don't have too much knowledge on the topic is part of it. So like, it'd be hard for me to figure out what to cook and like how to get enough protein and all of that. And I know there's people that, you know, eat enough protein when they eat that way and whatnot. Like I know it's not impossible, but I'd have to do a lot of learning, I think. And I honestly think it'd be hard for me mentally, just like how carnivore was, like all meat and no meat, I think is both really hard for me, so I don't know. This is the Hoola bronzer, tried and true. I just go over the places that I use that stick, and then I also like to take it, tap off a lot of it, but go over the nose. So I think this really helps the nose, because sometimes the nose will get covered up with concealer too much, so this helps redefine it. You know, next I'd go over with like a powder blush, but I actually don't have one. I only have like cream or liquid blushes, so I need a powder blush. If you have a recommendation, let me know. Powder specifically. Do you have any long-term career plans? So right now, I honestly just want to continue creating, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. I love YouTube, I love creating, I love connecting with people, and I think that's like totally fine for that to be my main goal at this point. You know, just continue developing my channel and who I am and connecting with people. So long term, I know my goals will change. Like a lot of people try to, with their platform, they'll maybe like start a business or something like that, and maybe that'll be something that I want to do in the future. But for now, I really just want to continue creating and like working on this, getting better at it. And that is my main focus with my career at this point. And I think that's okay. You know, if it's what I love to do, like I'm gonna keep doing it. And I can do side hustles and other things business-wise along with it. But I plan to keep creating for a long time, and I don't know, we'll see what comes my way. Like part of me almost feels bad for not having these like crazy plans, but then again, I'm like, I think it's okay for right now. Like I'm 26, I have plenty of time. That's one thing I need to remember. Like sometimes I think I'm 26, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. There's so many people like so much younger than me that are way more successful than me, but it's like, who cares? Everyone's path is different. Like just chill, you know, like I can just chill and enjoy what I'm doing and keep working at it. And what is meant to be will be. Obviously you have to put in the work, but also subscribe so you can figure out where I go within the next few years. Favorite lower body exercise and favorite upper body? Lower body is probably RDLs. I love RDLs. Upper body is probably anything back with the cable machine. For example, like face pulls. I really like them. Favorite / least favorite things about Austin. Favorite, there's so much to do. There really is so much to do, like all the time. Like I feel like I get overwhelmed with how many things there are to do. And anytime I go somewhere, like I always just have fun. It's like the food is amazing. There's so many fun events you can do. There's a lot of like health activities too. There's a lot of places to walk, a lot of places to go. It really is such a fun environment. Least favorite, I mean, I feel like the most obvious one is like, you don't want to be here in August when it's so hot. Like it is hard to live, and especially someone from the Midwest, like I'm not used to that. And so, of course, summers are tough. I do wish, however, like the water was cleaner. Like, for example, when we live in Wisconsin, Duncan could go swimming in the water all the time. But here you have to be very careful because some of the water has certain things in it that like can make your dog sick and like even potentially kill your dog. So, I mean, that kind of sucks. But that's not even an Austin specific thing. Like that's in a lot of different areas. So I guess that's one thing. You know, me always thinking about the dog. I did get some repeat questions, but part of this one says, are there any bad habits you hope to drop? As you know, I've been really working on my nails. It's been going really well for me, so I hope to continue picking at them and stuff. And also, I feel like Vlogmas makes me really good about not procrastinating because I literally don't have time to. So I feel like that is one thing I want to keep up in the new year. And I think something else I want to drop is like letting people's opinions get to me, both online and person, etc. Just like, it literally doesn't matter what people think of you. You can cure world hunger and someone will have something negative to say about it. So it's like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Like, do what you want to do at the end of the day. And not just with being online, but I just mean in general, like life in general. This can go for anyone. So it's so hard to not care about other people's opinions, but I want to keep working on that. Along with just like letting myself live. Like sometimes I just don't let myself live and I need to let myself live. Favorite fitness / health YouTubers and podcasts. So I do really love the Pursuit of Wellness podcast. Some episodes I don't really listen to, or like sometimes, I don't know, it can be a bit much for me. Same with like the Skinny Confidential. I don't really listen to it anymore because it's just like too much information and overwhelms me. But some of the Pursuit of Wellness episodes I really do love. Oh, by the way, this is L'Oreal Lash Paradise Primer and Mascara. Love. Favorite mascara ever. But I love Giggly Squad. It's not a health one. It's a comedy one, but I love Giggly Squad. Honestly, if you have other like more health podcasts that you like, I would like recommendations. I listen to Mind Pump. I haven't really listened to them lately, but I normally do. I know there's a ton out there like Andrew Huberman and I don't know, there's so many out there. I haven't tried his at all, but let me know what podcasts you like in that realm of things. And as far as YouTubers, honestly, I'm not really subscribed to many health-oriented YouTubers, which is, I think, kind of funny. Might sound kind of weird. However, I do feel like this might sound weird, but there's a girl I'm subscribed to who's so much younger than me, but she's just like the cutest thing, and so I feel like mature and wise for her age. You might know her too. Her name is Amelie Desai. She is in college in California, and I found her when she had like, I don't know, like 10,000 subscribers like over a year ago, and she's just like such a fun girly pop with great advice. And like I said, she's literally 8 years younger than me, but she's the cutest thing, and I love following along her life. And I feel like it also helps me like reminisce my college time, which is totally fine. It's like fun and nostalgic for me. Also highly recommend getting a little lash comb. This is what it looks like. It just helps separate your lashes if you need, especially sometimes if there's too much mascara on my bottom. I try to like really pick them apart. Okay, this next question says, I'm about to have my third baby. I gained all of the 120 pounds I worked so hard to lose with having 2 back-to-back pregnancies. I want to start pre-planning for when this one is delivered. What do you recommend for starting over again? My self-esteem is completely gone and I just feel like a horrible failure. First of all, I want to say take this with a grain of salt because I do not have children. I don't know what it's like to go through a pregnancy, deliver a baby, and all the changes your body makes. But like reading this makes me so sad because I know it sucks to work so hard and get in such good shape and then like gain weight, but also you just created literal life, like literal life. Like your body had to do so much and still has to do so much through the next little while, and then you have to do so much, right? Like, I don't know what it's like having a newborn, but I know there's a lot that goes into it, right? So it's like, I want you to focus on rest and just taking care of yourself. for the next while. Like, I feel like that's what's most important. And again, I don't know what I'm talking about because I literally cannot relate to this, but my best advice would be you need to sleep, you need to put nutritional food in your body, you need to spend time with your family. And once you're feeling like you can spend more time on yourself, start going for walks. And then months down the road, get into strength training. That's the best thing I would say. You know, work on your protein intake, but like, go easy on yourself. I'm sure it sucks, like feeling like, wow, I like got this way and then now I'm like gained all this weight back, but also like you literally created life and your body like went through and is going through so much. Like I can't even imagine because I've never been through it, you know? So please be nice to yourself. I'm sending you love. What advice would you give to someone who wants to lose weight but fails at every hurdle and just can't get going? Honestly, you really gotta start slow. Check in with your sleep. Are you sleeping? Are you moving your body? I always say the 5 things are sleep, protein intake, strength training, moving your body, like steps and stuff, and trying to incorporate whole foods, stay hydrated, and just eat balanced. So take one thing at a time, work on that one thing until it's a habit and something you do every day and move to the next thing. So like for me, I would start with sleep. This is NYX lip liner, by the way. They're so cheap and I love it. It's in the shade Natural. My favorite shade is like Peekaboo Neutral. It's like a little more pinky than this, but I can't find it. It's like out of stock and stuff. But I would work on your sleep and I'd work on upping your protein intake. Then I would focus on getting in more steps, then worry about your diet. If you're eating more protein, you'll probably be eating less, like more processed and like unhealthy foods, but try to work on your balance. And yeah, just like those 5 things I think are key. You do have to be in a calorie deficit to be losing weight, so make sure you're actually moving your body, you're going on walks, and you're burning calories, because at the end of the day, you do need to burn calories to lose fat. One thing at a time, and just do not rush it. Don't rush it, because it takes a long time. The reality is it takes a long time, especially if you want it to last. How are you liking Texas in general? Thinking it's a good place to stay, or missing familiarity? So we're definitely gonna stay a little bit longer. We are planning on resetting our lease, which is exciting. And I do like it so far. Like, it's been a change. Of course, it's been different. It's been good for me, I think, to move somewhere new, and I'm having a lot of fun, honestly. So there's a lot more I need to explore and do in this new year. I feel like this past year, really, I was just trying to adjust to change. And then also with like my boyfriend tearing his Achilles and stuff like that really put a halt in our plans. So I feel like I really didn't get out there as much this past year, and I've been doing more of that recently, which I've been having so much fun with. So I want to just keep doing that, keep exploring and enjoying my time here. I'll always do some sort of gloss over the lip liner. This is by Lawless. I really actually like these a ton. The shade is Velvet. It's like a perfect like pinky nude-y. I love it. I mean, I totally miss home. I miss Wisconsin. I'm very excited to be back for the holidays, but it's been good for me and I'm having fun being away. Favorite fitness trends that you've actually found to be true? I'm trying to think of like what's trends versus what's just facts. Like, people always talk about protein and I never knew how important it was, but I'm like, wait, can you call that a trend? Or is that just like a fact of health? I don't know. I also feel like women weightlifting has been more trendy, and obviously I really, really like that. So I feel like it's very true. I think like saunas and cold plunges are something that's very trendy, and I always feel great when I spend time in the sauna blanket, so I really, really like that. And having a sauna blanket is more of an accessible way to do something like that, of course, so I really like that and think I benefit from that. Red light, I think, is something that's really awesome. I still don't know if it's doing much for me. I'm just gonna keep using it and act like it is. My goal actually with red light, so a lot of people around my age start getting Botox, especially in the social media era, and I've kind of mentioned this before, but I don't necessarily want to do that stuff. Like, I've gotten lip filler and I think it's literally gone. Like, I think it's completely exited my face / migrated / I don't know. Like, I do struggle with, I think I need to get it dissolved. Like, I think I kind of have a little bit of a mustache. Hi, baby ducks. Oh my goodness. Someone came to see us. Hi. Oh, you're so handsome. He was just taking a nap on the bed. But my point is, I don't want to feel the need to get Botox as I age. There's nothing wrong with it. If you get it, there's like literally do whatever you want. I'm the last person to judge. That's one thing about me is I will say I feel like I'm very not judgmental. Like, you can do whatever you want. I literally don't care. Like, it's like if it doesn't involve me, like, why should I care type of a thing. And that's something I feel like I've gotten better at as I've gotten older. Anyways, where I'm going with this though, I think red light is something that if you do it long term, it can kind of prevent or at least slow down like wrinkles and whatever, and it's really good for your skin. So it's slow down my desire to get Botox. So I think red light is oh, I forgot to put stuff in my hair. I think red light is really awesome and it's more of a trend. There's more questions I want to get to and I want to do my hair, so I figured we're just gonna move on to hair next. I'm gonna quickly spray on this heat protectant and actually a bit of hairspray as well. A quick and easy hair thing I do is use this heated round brush. I have this one. I also have the Bondi Boost one. This uses like a red light, so it's supposed to be less heat damaging, but I do find because it's gentler on the hair, this one does give you kind of a better result, unfortunately, and that's the one I'm gonna use today. Normally I go with the Bondi Boost one. Do you feel like your YouTube channel puts stress or pressure on your health journey in a negative way, or is it more of a positive influence? Honestly, I would say both. I would say positive in a way that it keeps me accountable for sure. Like the stuff that I do in my vlogs, I'm not lying about. Like I do them, right? Like it's like my lifestyle. Like I film healthy habits and stuff that I actually practice. I think it'd be really hard to lie about all this stuff. Like I go to the gym, I'm like really consistent with it and everything. And like, I don't know, what I eat is like normally what I eat. I feel like it is really awesome for an accountability standpoint. It also exposes me to new topics and things I want to learn about, whether it be through my own comments or other creators too. I feel like pressure in a negative way is like my appearance, right? Like, of course you think, oh, Morgan, you've been like lifting weights for a year. You should look like way more toned, way more jacked, and I just don't. So I feel like that pressure, I do feel like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Like I'm not, I don't know, like I'm like being lazy or something. And I definitely go in different phases. Like I don't feel like that right now, but I feel like that is the negative aspect. Another negative thing is like, because I like talk so much about health and stuff and I really like that stuff, of course, the health space is very controversial. And I feel like it's easy for people to not like what you say or misinterpret it if it doesn't align with them. And this can go for any type of niche, right? But it's like, you know, I can say, I like apples. And someone will come at me and be like, oh, but like, why don't you like bananas? And I'm like, well, I didn't say I didn't like bananas. I do like bananas. I just was talking about apples. Or I'll be like, oh, I like apples. And they'll be like, okay, but don't you know that like apple pie is terrible? And then I'll be like, well, okay, I like apples, but like apple pie is related, but it's not apples. So I don't know. And then it makes me really question myself and second guess, like, okay, wait, what do I actually believe in and how am I actually feeling? And then I don't want to share as much as to what I'm into health-wise, even though I'm super passionate about it. So that's why sometimes I'm just afraid to have opinions, because at the end of the day, people are going to disagree with you and you can't make everyone happy, but having the pressure of that type of response can affect what I do with my health journey. I let hate comments get to me. I am human and I know that I shouldn't. And then some people can also argue like, well, you put yourself online, like you're subjected to getting like opinions and stuff. And it's like, yes, I do understand that. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm the victim and people should never like comment, because yes, I put myself online. It is my choice and it's just like what comes along with it, right? Like I have to learn how to take it, but also it is not normal to like constantly be receiving people's opinions about you. So it is like a weird thing. So like, yes, I understand that it is just something that comes with it. And like, it's a small price to pay for what a privilege this is as a job and like how much I love this. You know, like sometimes people will interpret things different too. I am very lucky and privileged to like call this a job and to get to do this every day. Like I acknowledge that all the time. I promise. I'm like, I will never complain about doing this as a job. Like I don't have to do it if I don't want to, right? It's just what comes along with it. But also I do try to remember, like if I get hate comments, it says so much more about the person leaving them versus me. And that is the ways that I feel good and bad pressure. Sorry, that was a rant. Favorite shows? Okay, I'm watching the new season of Sex Lives of College Girls right now and I love it. I think it is so funny. Also, a new season of Severance is coming out in the new year. If you watch it, I think it's on Apple TV. It was a really good show. There's only one season out and the second one is coming and I'm really excited to see that. What do you think about marriage and having babies? I definitely want to get married someday. I mean, obviously I'll let you know when I'm engaged and stuff, like you'll be filled in. Right now, babies still terrify me. Like I said, I have a lot of nieces and nephews and I love them. Do not get me wrong. I absolutely love them, but they're not mine. So it's really easy to love them and not be afraid of them. But like the thought of having my own children right now scares the actual crap out of me, and that's okay. I don't have to like have children anytime soon. No one is forcing me to. So I'm gonna do a roller so that this sits in really nice. You know, I'm trying to just think about that stuff and like whatever my timeline is meant to be is how my life is gonna turn out. That takes some pressure away. Was Dunkin' named after Dunkin' Donuts? Yes, actually, yes, he was. I love Dunkin' Donuts. I'm a Dunkin' girly over a Starbucks girly for sure. And I named him Dunkin' inspired by Dunkin' Donuts, but it's spelled D-U-N-C-A-N. It's not spelled Dunkin' like Dunkin' Donuts as in D-U-N-K-I-N. How to get rid of bum acne / bumps. You said you had those in a video. Yeah, so okay, folliculitis. It's basically when like the hair follicle, because you have hair all over your body, right? Whether it's short, long, whatever. You have hair all over your body. And so folliculitis is like the hair follicle gets kind of, I don't know if infected is the right word, but it can get inflamed. And if you constantly wear like leggings and tighter pants, especially in the colder months, sometimes I'll get like bumps like literally on my butt cheeks, but it is so normal, okay? It is, I promise it is so normal. It's literally due to like friction. It doesn't mean you're dirty. It's not the same as acne either. Like don't try to pop it or anything. I actually have a product that I really like to use. This is called the KP Bump Eraser Body Scrub. It has AHA in it, safe for sensitive skin. It's by First Aid Beauty. And I find that that really helps because it exfoliates the area, which is really important. Also, I think like salicylic acid is something that's really good for it. And you can find cheaper products that have that ingredient, because I know the bump eraser I just showed you is kind of expensive, but exfoliating the area I think is really important. And then some sort of like acid treatments. I would just Google folliculitis and I think it'll show up like what ingredient really helps with it, but I promise it's so normal. Where are your subscribers from around the world? Let's look. 53% United States, 7.2% Canada, 6.3% UK, 3.6% Australia, 3% Germany, 1.8% India, 1.3% Netherlands, 1% Sweden, 1% France, 0.8% South Africa. Do you think you'll stay in Austin? We are for sure staying another year. We are in the process of re-signing our lease, so that's exciting. How long did it take you to see changes? Changes, it depends. You know, I've been through a lot of different eras, but I would say you gotta give it a few weeks. And then you gotta give it a few months. Like changes shouldn't necessarily happen quick. I mean, you might drop a few pounds pretty quick due to like, you know, I feel like the first few pounds are easy to lose if you're just going for weight loss. But as far as like gaining muscle and stuff, that does take longer. And once you do see progress, it's definitely motivating, but also don't rush it, because the faster you get something, typically the shorter it sticks around. Tips for keeping a somewhat steady, healthy lifestyle during college. I honestly will say I did not have a healthy lifestyle during college, so I cannot speak from experience, but if I were you, I would really try to focus on sleep. That is definitely something I didn't do. I would do your best to get sleep, to do as much walking around campus as you can, and just to get as much protein in as you can, because I know your meals are definitely different, whether you're on a meal plan or you're just like, you know, living on your own and it's your first time, you know, really like cooking for yourself and stuff like that. It is hard, so that would be my top recommendations. If you can go to the gym, great, but I would say sleep, protein, and just walk around campus as much as you can. Fellow Wisconsin girly here, what do you miss the most / least about living here? I mean, right now I'm happy I'm not there due to weather. I would love to see snow when we come back for the holidays, but of course, like I am happy that I'm not there in the cold, whereas here it's gotten colder, but it's not like cold, at least what I would consider cold. What I do miss, I really love Madison, and that's where I moved from. So I do miss the city of Madison. I miss good cheese curds for sure. How to stay motivated to go outside and stick to your fitness plan. Honestly, I will say it is much easier to work out and stuff in the winter living here versus it was in Wisconsin, so I'm not even really struggling. The coldest it's gotten, at least so far this year, has felt really nice, and it's not been a deterrence for me. I feel like in the cold, my mindset used to kind of be like, there's less to do, so I might as well go work out and focus on my goals. Like, there's just less going on, so I might as well hone in and just like really go hard at it. Sometimes if I'd be really tired and like not want to do anything, I would literally just set a timer on my phone. I would lay down, put my phone down, not do anything for like 10-15 minutes, and then as soon as it would go off, I would make myself get up, get dressed, and like go work out. So maybe try the timer method. I don't know if it has a name or if I got it from somewhere, but I used to do that. Have you ever tried a menstrual disc or cup? Sorry if TMI. Not TMI. Like, I am so happy to talk about women's health. Do not get me wrong. I have been trying a menstrual cup. It's by the brand Salt. Definitely some learning curve with it. I'm still really trying to get used to it. I mean, you really gotta get up in there. So you gotta be comfortable with yourself. You gotta just experiment, and it does get scary, but I think with more use, it could get better. I haven't tried a disc. I actually have some, I just haven't tried it yet. And if you're struggling, I'm still struggling too. So I wish I had more tips, but I am still struggling with it. How many times a month do you usually cheat with meals? I feel like I don't have cheat meals. I mean, I eat bad stuff, right? Like literally the other day, I mean, I had Chicago style pizza from a food truck. Like that technically would be a cheat meal, but because I'm not specifically on a diet, I don't have like cheat meals. I don't know. If I want something, maybe I'll try the swap. And if the swap isn't gonna cut it, maybe I'll just have the real thing and just, you know, honor the craving. Okay, my hair is done. I'm gonna take you to better lighting and we're gonna finish this Q&A. Okay, the sheets are currently off my bed because I'm washing them. If you weren't doing YouTube, what would you be doing career-wise? Honestly, I have no idea. I went to school for education. I was originally going for math, then I went for education, and I worked at a beauty school right after college. Basically had like a sales role, and I was actually pretty good at it. Like I think I'm good in that area of things. Honestly, I don't know. I never really knew what I wanted to be / do like in college or anything, and I talked more about this in my like really long kind of life story video if you want more details. How do you navigate your health and fitness journey through the holiday season? Honestly, I eat Christmas cookies. Like I definitely am more lenient, but I still make sure to work out and move my body. So it is more time for like sweets and stuff. And I just let myself do that and like make memories, you know, like why not? I want to make the most of the holiday season. You know, I was out the other day, I had food from food trucks. I had a lot of drinks at night, like whatever. And it is probably the least strict time of the year for me specifically, but I also just don't throw everything away. I still go to the gym every day. I still work on my hydration. I try to get my sleep. I move my body. So I'm more lenient for sure. I haven't been like tracking food or anything, but I'm still trying to prioritize what's good for me and what makes me feel good and not eat Christmas cookies every single day, right? So I just kind of figure out my balance. Favorite college memories? I'm a senior at UW right now. Aw, I hope you're having the best time. Oh, I loved college. I loved game day. Honestly, game day was like my favorite thing ever. Like all the tailgates, like the school spirit. Game day is easily just the best part and memories of college, I swear. I love UW. Something you accomplished this year that you're proud of? Honestly, just getting comfortable in the gym. That was a really big thing I wanted to work on this year, and I did. And I'm really happy with all of the progress I've made, and I'm just very comfortable and excited to keep working on things, and I'm really proud of that. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question, and thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not. Happy Vlogmas, and I will see you in my next one tomorrow.